Hello, my name is Keshwani. It's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for SAT. We have been solving SAT grammar questions out of this book here, the official SAT study guide. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problems that we are about to solve are the ones that you will find on page number 409. Please turn to it, page 409, and today is our lesson number 3. Before I start today's lesson, yesterday I was telling you that when you're doing these grammar questions, the first 11 of them, you must always keep your answers covered. Do not look at the answer choices until you've done the work. And then I went on to say that once in a while, once in a blue moon, not as a rule, once in a blue moon, you read the sentence, you have your answers covered, and you're reading the sentence, and it's so confusing, you really don't know what to do there, you really don't know how to fix it. In those situations, in those exceptional cases, it's okay to look at the answer choices to see what you can do there. Question number 10 on the previous page, on page number 408, was one such question. And then I went on to say that it does not give you the carte blanche to do that all the time. I didn't actually use that word, but that's what I wanted to say. I put it aside on the there, and I never covered it. I forgot. Let's learn that first, shall we? First of all, it is misspelled on the blackboard here. I left out an A in here. Oh, that is an A actually. That is an A. I couldn't read my own handwriting. This is how it's spelled. C-A-R-T-E and C-H-E. Blanche is where the French word for white comes from. Blanc. The masculine form of the word will be blanc and the feminine will be blanche. Carte blanche literally means a white piece of paper. I'm going to leave it up to you if you're curious as to what does the white piece of paper has to do with this word that I use in the context. I'm not going to worry about it right now. If you're curious, you can learn it on your own, and you will find it. We covered it, we learned it on day number 8. Day number 8. Just type in vocabulary words, SAT vocabulary words that is, put it in the quotation, SAT vocabulary word, day 8, and we'll pop right up. Let's do that. We are on page number 409. Number 12. Now these are new type of questions, 1 through 11 that we did yesterday and day before yesterday. They were different types of questions, therefore the scale of difficulty ended there. The scale of difficulty ended there. It went from 1 through 11 because that was the different type of questions. This is the beginning of a new type of questions. There are 18 of them, 12 through 29, and since there are 18 of them, loosely speaking, the first 6 are going to be easy, the middle 6 are going to be medium, the last 6 are going to be hard. Now if you want to keep your life simple, if you don't want to make it too complicated, think in simple terms. The page that we are about to do, page 409, those are all easy questions. Even though there are 8 of them, they are all easy questions. As you turn the page 410, you will find more of these questions in 2 columns. The left-hand column are mediums, the right-hand columns are hard. That's all. Keep it simple. Let's begin. So the ones that we are about to do, they are all simple, very straightforward. Number 12. Interested in studying insects and their effects on agriculture, Larissa and Tariq plan to become whatever it says here, entomology, whatever the word is, I don't know how to pronounce it. Let's change it to something else. Larissa and Tariq, L and T, plan to become I changed it because I don't know how to pronounce that word and I don't know what it means. What's wrong with this sentence? L and T, those are 2 people. L and T plan to become is very difficult. It's very difficult for Michael and Susan to become a musician. They may try to become musicians, but they will not become a musician. A very difficult task. And that's what's wrong with it. The answer is C. Because it says they plan to become something. The answer is C. It cannot be singular. It needs to be it needs to be plural because there are 2 people here we're talking about. Do you understand? That's all. Number 2. Now when I say number 2, I mean the second one on the page. From 780 to 1600, sculptors created nearly 1,000 colossal rock statues on the remote and tiny Easter Island. Let's read it one more time. From something 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 to something something something, they created nearly 1,000 objects. The fact that they were colossal, it doesn't really matter to us, on the remote island. So this is how the sentence stands. This is what we are interested in. Everything else that you see there is just there to fill space. Do you understand? So it says, this is what it says. It says, from, I have the parts that are underlined there. These are the parts that are underlined. Here's our A, here's our B, created, nearly C, and then we have remote, D. So this is how the sentence reads. Okay, I'm going to read the sentence to you. This is what it says. As far as we're concerned, this is what we're interested in. From something 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 to something something something, they created nearly 1,000 objects on the remote island. What do you find wrong with it? How does one fix it? How does one improve it? The answer is, one does not. It is a beautifully written sentence. It doesn't need any fixing. It is fine. It is perfectly alright the way it is. Therefore, the answer is E. Of course, it would have to be alright. Look how simple the sentence is. It simply says, from something 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 to something something something, they created nearly 1,000 objects on the remote island. How can you possibly get it wrong? There is nothing to make a mistake there. It's too simple. Let's go to the next one. Number 3. If you start concentrating, if you start spending your time reading every nitty-gritty detail that they give you, this is where you're going to make mistakes. That's where you're going to end up wasting your time. Don't read any mumbo-jumbo that they give you, okay? Don't read any crap, everything else that they give you, just ignore it. Number 3. Because of our carousel, let me start again. Again, I don't want to shock you. I already told you yesterday and the day before yesterday that I'm not a native speaker. I make boo-boos a lot. That is my forte. We'll come to this in a second. And when I say in a second, it could be the next video, who knows. Forte was the word. Because our casserole, I don't know what I said before. Because our casserole was smelling surprisingly badly. What the hell? Because our food was smelling surprisingly badly. No, something cannot smell surprisingly badly. That's an adverb. The way it's written here is an adverb. And that's an adverb. Surprisingly. Surprisingly, that's an adverb. You can't have two adverbs sitting next to each other. We need an adjective. It was surprisingly what? Surprisingly bad. It says boldly. That's not what I meant. It was smelling surprisingly bad. Now, sometimes I use this terminology from grammar. I shouldn't do that because I know that I probably made a mistake just now. I'm not sure if this is an adjective or the proper terminology of the grammar. Don't worry about it. Just understand how to fix it, okay? How was it smelling? Well, it was smelling surprisingly bad. It was smelling atrociously horrible, but that's redundant. Surprisingly bad, atrociously redundant. That was redundant because if it's atrocious, obviously it's horrible. That wasn't a good example. How was it smelling? It was smelling surprisingly bad. Just for example, you might say that it was outstandingly beautifully. What the hell? No, it was outstandingly beautiful. It was surprisingly bad. It was smelling unbelievably. It was smelling unbelievably. It was smelling unbelievably. Horribly. It was smelling unbelievably horribly? I don't think so. It was smelling unbelievably horrible. It was smelling inexplicably nicely? No, it was smelling inexplicably nice. You couldn't explain it. It was smelling that good that you couldn't explain it. So that was it. That's all you have to do there in number 3 there. Get rid of badly to bad and you're done. The answer is A. The answer is A. Let's move on to the next column. Jerome often referred to art textbook while he was sculpting. Whenever he learned a new method in art class, he seeks out the work of the sculptors who had used it in the past. Aha! This sentence has to do with, this sentence, number 15, has to do with tense. How does it start out with? It starts out by saying Jerome often referred with the ed is a past tense. It's a past tense. He referred to art textbooks whenever he learned a new method in the art class. And then he goes on to say he seeks out the work of, he seeks out, no, he does not seek out, he referred, it's a past tense, therefore he seeks out, which is a present tense, has to be converted into past tense. What's the past tense of seek? Past tense of seek is sought. He sought out, not seeks out. Seeks out is the present tense. The sentence starts out in the past tense, it must remain in the past tense. He sought out. The answer is C. The answer is C. Number 16. As he eagerly awaited the interview for the job, Miguel thought it was wise. Miguel thought it was wise. Thought it was wise. Suppressing his nervousness and to display a calm that he did not feel. The last part you are not interested in. What is wrong with this sentence? This sentence has to do with what is known as parallel structure. Parallel structure means the sentence has to be consistent. For example, I like to listen to music, I like to eat good food, and I like jogging. Let's see what we can do there. That came out of nowhere. That sentence came out of nowhere. Let's work on it. I like to eat good food. I like to listen to good music. And I like to, sorry, I gave it away, didn't I? And I like jogging. What is wrong with this sentence? Let's read one more time. See if we can figure out. Of course you can figure it out, it's very simple. When I say see if you can figure it out, it's just a manner of speaking, you understand? I like to eat good food. I like to listen to good music. And I like jogging. No. It's not consistent. It starts out by I like to eat. I like to listen. It should be I like to jog. I like to listen to good music. I like to eat good food, and I like to jog, not jogging. If you were to say jogging here, if you're hell bent on keeping that as jogging, then these two need to be changed. I like eating good food. I like listening to good music, and I like jogging. You see, that's what's wrong with it. Miguel thought it was wise. Miguel thought it was wise. It should say wise. He thought it was wise, suppressing his nervousness and to display. No. If it's to display, it has to be to suppress. Miguel thought it was wise to suppress his nervousness and to display a calm that he never actually felt. Just put on a show during the interview. Just stay calm. That's what he thought. He thought it was wise to suppress his nervousness and to display a calm. That's all. It has to do with parallel structure, just like here. Because this part is 2, this has to be 2. And of course we don't have a luxury of changing this part because this part is not underlined. The display thing, where they talk about to display, it's not underlined. What number was this one? Number 16. Right here, number 16. And to display is not underlined, which means we don't have a liberty of changing this one. Of course it's not underlined, because then we'll end up having problem here. They only underline one part, and the one part, and therefore since we cannot change this part, this has to be consistent with this part. To display, to suppress. The answer is D. The answer is D. I'm going to change my marker because I keep looking at it, it keeps bothering me. It is dying. It is dying, so I'm going to change my marker. I may have to get out of frame for a second. Let me see if the one that is sitting here is any good before I go running around. That was number 16. Let's go on. Number 17. According to educational statistics, the average age of college student, so far so good because nothing is underlined except according to. You could hardly go wrong with according to, so that's fine. According to educational statistics, the average age of college student, so basically what they're saying here is that age has risen. So far so good, isn't it? Age has risen. That's all they have said. Ignore everything else. Nothing else matters to us in this sentence. The only 3 words that matter to us at this point are the words that you see on the blackboard. Age has risen, and so far so good. Quite, age has risen, quite noticeable. Age has risen quite noticeably. It has risen quite noticeably. How has it risen? This is your verb here. It has risen. How has it risen? Something that describes the verb, something that tells us a little bit about the verb, how the action is done. How has it risen? It has risen noticeably. This is called an adverb. We need an adverb here to go along with our verb. It has risen, to which the question is, how has it risen? It has risen slowly. It has risen rapidly. It has risen noticeably. It has risen minutely. Do you understand? We need an adverb. The answer is C. Let's go on to the next one, number 18. Oh, number 18 is too simple. This is too simple. This is a waste of time. Neither K or B or P. That's the end of it. Neither K or P. I don't think so. This is called idioms. Sometimes, once in a while, they test you on idioms. Idioms are very difficult for a non-native speaker to tackle, because it's just a matter of knowing. They don't follow any rules. It's not some rules that I can learn just like I would learn the rules of English grammar to teach myself English language. Idioms in any language are very difficult to master for a non-native, because they just go willy-nilly. There is no rhythm or rhyme to it. They're there just because they're there. And the idiom in English language is either this or that. You can have either the apple, you can have either an apple or a banana. You're not going to go around saying you can have either an apple nor banana. It doesn't work that way. So here you will say you can have neither apple nor banana. Neither K nor P. We need nor, N, nor, not or. That's all, we are done. And that's answer choice A. That was very straightforward, very simple. Let's go to the last one, number 19. Number 19. Before boarding, this is an interesting one. Before boarding, passengers must purchase his or her tickets. Before boarding, this is your answer choice A. Passengers must purchase, this is your answer choice B. And this is his or her is your answer choice C. And I'm going to leave it at that. We're not going to read the rest of it because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the problem is already the problem is already there. Once you find the problem is already there, there's no point reading the rest of the bloody thing because there are not two wrong they do not show you two mistakes in a given sentence. Each sentence contains only one mistake. You see mistake already? You should. Being a native speaker that you are, it should be that much easier for you. Just listen to it as you're reading. Listen to it as you speak in your mind. Listen to your ears, even though you cannot say out loud when you're reading it in the exam. But listen to yourself, and you should be able to tell. Your ear should be able to pick up on these things that are inconsistent. Before boarding, who are we talking about? What is the subject of the sentence here? The subject of the sentence is passengers. Passengers. And then they go on to say that they must purchase his or her. What the hell? His or her is singular. The passengers must purchase their ticket, not his or her. They must purchase. Will you go around saying they must purchase his ticket? Or would you go around saying they must purchase his or her ticket? Would you say that? They must buy. Would you say that? They must buy his or her ticket? Of course not. It wouldn't make any sense. They must purchase their tickets because it's plural. Subject is plural. They, passengers, plural. They must purchase their ticket, and that's what's wrong with it. The answer is C. The answer is C. And that was it. So that unfortunately was the end of the good old days. That's it. Starting tomorrow, we'll do the next page where we'll deal with medium questions in the first column, in the left hand side column, and in the right hand side column, we'll do the hard questions. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? But the easy questions are done. There were 18 of them. The first page are the easy questions. Tomorrow, as I said, we'll do medium and the hard. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.